Ole mole. Ole mole.
Hello, I'm Dan.
And I'm Can.
And this is a Candid Conversation.
Ole mole.
Ooh. A weekly podcast where we just bullshit about random things that have happened recently or that have popped into our minds that we'd like to relay on to the world in general. Candy? Post-Thanksgiving weekend. For me, kind of a blur because snow. So, yeah. How was yours?
Yeah, there's been a lot of snow. How was my what? Thanksgiving?
Your post-Thanksgiving weekend. We know you had the best Thanksgiving ever because I was there.
That's it. That's it. Of course, that's it. If you weren't there, I would be sad. You're rubbing your tears. So let's just get into today's subject. You know, I don't like the small talk. Let's move past that.
Let's
okay,
play a
so
game. Small talk with Candy.
I
No?
can do small talk. I don't like it.
No small talk?
I like to get to the real stuff. Like, let's talk about real things. We don't
Real
need
things.
Everybody knows what the weather's like. We're all living with the weather. If you're with people that are there with you, I do like this background. It's nice and soft.
Oh,
It's cozy.
it's a cozy one.
Our
Cozy
clothes
Candid
blend
Conversation.
right in. It's like a reddish brown,
We're
very
like
earthy
fucking,
colors.
we're like Kris Kringle and Christmas Carol. After Carol, how you doing?
Don't call me Carol. He has this name that he uses out in public when we need to give our name to something. He calls himself Randy.
Someone
And he
gave
thinks
that name
it's
to me.
so funny.
We were at Culver's in the drive-thru, and I thought it'd be cute. And they're like, name for the ticket, please. And I go, give me Candy. They go, Randy? And I go, sure. And then I've been Randy ever since.
Anytime we go to Culver's, pretty much.
Anywhere.
Is that the only place you use it?
I
Anywhere?
use it.
Okay.
Definitely at Culver's, but everywhere else, I'm Randy.
He loves the name Randy, which it is what it is. Anyways, I think I want to talk about today how this week I kind of had this epiphany with those that...
Oh, so you're Catholic now? Celebrating the Epiphany?
The word epiphany, yeah. I learned that this week too, as Dan's friend used it I'd never heard it in the Catholic
The lights
return,
stay on to the house until the Epiphany is over.
which is like 15 days after Christmas
12
or
days.
something.
12 days.
12 days. So whatever that is for, I'm not quite sure still, but whatever. It's a Catholic thing. But that I was making my life smaller, meaning avoiding certain places, avoiding certain,
And we've
because I
talked
didn't want
about
to run
this.
into.
This builds on what we've been talking about through November.
Does it?
Yeah, because we were talking about family issues and dealing with family and not going to things and stuff like that. So, okay, continue on.
And to me, this week, it just kind of hit me that I'm not going to make my life smaller so that they can feel more comfortable. I'm going to take up more space. I'm going to go to the things I want to go to. And if I run into them, I run into them. And I'm not looking for conflict. I'm not looking to have, I'd be fine with small talk in that case. I would be fine with small talk. And, but I'm not going to make myself smaller by avoiding things all the time. And I just wanted to kind of talk about how that can be a tendency, maybe not just for us, but for other people, where, especially as you've deconstructed or just become more self-aware as you grow, and the tendency might be to pull away, but I don't know that that's, and I think you should if you need to, obviously, and I think we've talked about that lots of times, but I think as you get stronger going into those situations, because how are they ever going to learn and grow and change if everybody who learns and grows just backs away from all of the people that aren't learning and growing. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying we're learning and growing and they're not. I'm just saying I think it's a mature thing to be able to go back in once you've done some healing, some inner work, and not to make your life smaller. And also it gives them, I think, something I was talking to my sister about, and she said, stop giving them your power. Like making yourself small by giving them your power. Don't let them have power over you. And I think that is good advice.
Yeah.
So thoughts.
One, I think you made a good point there. A little caveat to it, because you want to make sure you're healed and you've done the work, because we're definitely talking about traumatic experiences with other people. So you don't want to be unhealed and still in the
you'll make things very
of
bad.
The trauma and walk in. You're going to cause issues that you're going to have to address and revisit.
Maybe
and go to.
Create a new traumatizing event for yourself and other people. Yeah.
So you got to make sure that you are in a good place. Willing to go in to see, one, it's kind of a test to see how much you have grown, how much you have healed. Because you really don't know until you test it, just like faith. We have the strongest faith in the world. Well, let's test it. No, we're not allowed to. Well, and how strong is it?
No, you can't do that because it'll make your faith fall apart. Is it really strong then?
Yeah. So it's a chance to test it, but you definitely want to make sure that you've done work beforehand before going into it, because you could cause some serious trauma. So I think that's a good point that you put there. But again, it's something we've wrestled with on this between Dan and Can and Candid Conversations, just how we were going to deal with some of the holidays, because we've had some recent occurrences that have really just destroyed trust and just trust of individuals.
And this is in our particular case, it's not, we know things they don't know that we know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like so it's not, we're not trying to shame anybody. They don't know that we know some things, but it has destroyed trust for sure.
So I think we were kind of going through on our episodes trying to reason it out on why this is a good thing, why we need to, not attend. It's for them. And that partly is true. Let them enjoy a thing without having the anxiety of us being around, because they have trauma also in it. And we've come to we understand this. We understand that they have trauma in this too. We don't agree with it, but they have it. So that's fine.
We don't agree. Yeah. So their trauma is for different reasons than ours. And but yes, needless to say, it's trauma on both ends.
So they're there. So we were trying to be the bigger person here, and okay, you enjoy this, have it, and we won't cause the anxiety. But then I think what you finally come to realize here is that no, we're taking away some experience from ourselves too. And why do we take this away why do we punish ourselves? Why do we subtract from what we possibly could have also to their benefit and their ease? So if we are truly come to a place where we've healed a lot and we have an understanding, and we just know, okay, there's trauma here. We understand that. We're getting past that. We understand what we're dealing with here. We understand the situation. So we know we can't trust or whatever in here. But
the relationship's not going to be like close or anything, but yes. But can we basically, in their heads, the story that they make up about us can exist if we stay away.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like,
they can also control the narrative of who we are too, because in this situation, the people that would be there to defend and know some more of the situation aren't there. And the people that are there don't understand or know the situation, and they're just getting one side of everything. So it gives us a chance to defend our character and everything too. So
without even having to bring up what we're referring to, we just need our character to be seen. Because our character is one of love, one of kindness, one of goodness. And instead, it's just like when there's hate present and love presence. It's like love, like we fear hate so much without recognizing the antidote to it is love.
Mm-hmm.
And so there is a situation of hate happening. And if we walk in with love in mind, we can actually help weaken that hate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, and I think also what was I going to say? Oh, crap. I had something pop up when you were talking. Now I can't remember it. But it just gives us, a chance to test, see how much we have cured and taken care of. And it's just that we don't have to reduce the world around us. And I think that's what you're referring to as smaller, is reducing the environment around us. Okay, we can't
Like
go to these
where
places.
we would go, or yeah. Mm-hmm.
And to put it kind of as something that's simpler terms, there's places where people that were friends in the past that are Christians where they work, so you would avoid walking by or walking into the places that they'd work. And so you'd be like, okay, they're off at 4, I will go at 4:30.
Yeah.
And inconvenience yourself because it might have been convenient to go at 2 or something like that.
Yeah.
So and that's what we're talking about. It's like, well, no, screw it. If they see me, they see me. They can, whatever. I
can be like, I'm a kind person. I can have a small conversation. I don't need to know all the details of what they're thinking. I don't need to tell myself a story, which is what we're doing. We're telling ourselves a story about what they think about us, but just allowing myself to be around people who have heard stories, let's say since Deconstruction, who have been told things like, oh, Candy doesn't love Jesus anymore. Candy, because we've been told things like we love killing babies or whatever, which is just ridiculous. But so if they're told these stories and they believe this about us, like they're just completely different people, well, that story can remain as long as we stay out of their view, just like it's easy for evangelicals to think evil things about atheists or minorities or LGBTQ because they stay away from them. But once they get up close to them, it's hard for them to continue to hate or to believe the lies because they're like, I know this person. You know what I'm saying? And it's the same thing. Like if we stay away, the story can continue. The lies can continue. But if we get up close and they see us, like our character we have good character. Yeah. We're kind, we're loving. Do we make mistakes? Yes, we do. Do we, do things that we wish we wouldn't? Do we have regrets? Sometimes, yes. But mostly I try to live without having regrets. I try to live true to myself as more than ever. So, and I think it's a great test of our own healing. And you can back off if you feel like, oh man, that's so triggering. Then you're not quite ready. But when you start to get the feeling to do it, I think it's good to challenge it and test it. And don't do something that's going to cause you to, it needs to be a challenge and not something that's going to like scare you. Right? You don't want it to like frighten you, like where you're going to like shut down. But you do want to challenge yourself. Like, I feel like I can do this. I'm going to take a little step. It doesn't mean you have to like go sit back in church or something. You know what I'm saying? But not avoiding those who maybe even spread some rumors about you as deconstruction happened. Not being afraid. It's anxiety, I think, crept in for me. And I'm not willing to let it stay.
It's one of them things where, because we were talking about what this is like, and it's heaping the coals. Because when we're not there and present, they're feeling empowered. Like, okay, we have control of the situation. They're afraid of us. But if we show up and just act ourselves and pretend like for everyone else there that nothing's going on. Okay, we're not talking to them. There's a reason for it, but we're not going to bring it up. We're not going to say anything. We're just going to be kind and nice. We'll say hi, hello, be pleasant with them, heaping them coals on them. Because it goes back to the whole, if someone's being an asshole, you can be an asshole right back. And you can be justified in doing that. This guy's an asshole, so I'm going to be an asshole right back to him. But then people are going to realize, well, them two guys are both assholes. I'm not going to deal with them. But if one guy's being an asshole to you and you just continue on normal and be a pleasant self.
Be kind, not over and above kind, not doormat kind.
Not even
not
necessarily
like
to that individual, but to everyone else.
Yeah, you don't have to interact with them very much either. But you just don't need to spread more hate.
Yeah, you don't have to be that. Then people are going to realize eventually, that guy's an asshole. This other guy keeps talking all this shit about it's kind of nice. He's been there for me. He's helped out. And that's what's happened in some of these situations where they've tried to,
smear our character or something.
Smear the character, hurt our reputation. And people have been like, that's not the people we know.
Yeah, people who know us. Yeah.
They're like, actually, you are the ones that don't show up and help, but they're the ones that have been around. They've done this or they've done this. That doesn't, what you're saying doesn't match my actual lived experience of this individual. So something's not jiving here, and I'm going to go with what I've actually experienced, know, because
anybody
that's what you base
who
everything on.
You're going to go with your own, though I have in times listened to people's voices about somebody and then found out that that was not even true about that person, you know, because I've heard, oh, that person's a terrible person, avoid them. And I've gotten to know that person. I'm like, you're reading them all wrong, and then I've also had people where, they seem really great at first and then you find out and you're like, oh gosh, they're just, you have your own experiences. So, and I think with deconstruction, and I don't think I'm the only one, and I don't know if you felt anxiety about those kinds of things, but like wanting to avoid and it's a protection mechanism. It's like fight, flight. Basically, it turns on fight, flight because you had experiences where they've been cruel. And so your nervous system kicks on like, hey, don't do this to us again, which is understandable, but I can teach it to be safe, that we are safe in this environment and I will listen and leave if it's.
Have different perspectives of this, me and you, because I don't have that anxiety because I didn't grow up in it. Right?
Yeah.
And where we have a lot of this conflict with the deconstruction part is because of your family that you grew up with that was so uber religious that this was our identity. And then the friends that we built together over time. So I don't have the anxiety because I didn't have that strong connection with the friends or whatever, or the deep, because we couldn't. That was Christianity. It was surface, keep it, accountability, blah, 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 whatever. But there was nothing real deep. They didn't know
everything about you. They didn't really know you. Yeah. Because they thought they know you. Dan's this goofy guy who, they don't know you. Yeah.
Because we were wearing the Christian mask. So I don't have that anxiety dealing with these individuals because, there wasn't a lot there. But where my anxiety comes in is when I know you're going into them situations and I know the effect that they can have on you sometimes. So when you go, and I know you're going to meet with certain individuals, it's a preparation of, okay, be ready. She may be, let's see, because you're testing how much you've done, and then you come home and sometimes you're fine. And it's a great experience. Sometimes.
I think I think for you, like over the years, I've gotten better and better, stronger.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. You've healed a lot there. But there were times where it was like, okay, especially early on, she's going to come back and she's going to be distraught.
Emotional mess. Yeah.
Yeah, because you hadn't done all the healing yet. You've done some, but not all of it. So I think
but it was new, and these were new wounds too. Yeah.
So that's kind of the anxiety I had, is more of, I guess, the protector or whatever of, hey, let's not, okay, I know you want to go to this thing, but is this, and I'd have them conversations with you in the past of, do you really want to go to this? It's going to, and then I'd throw out all the negative scenarios that come in. You'd be like, you're such a downer.
And your nervous system is honestly trying to protect itself because when I'm off kilter, it throws you off kilter, right? Yes. You're trying to create safety or balance at some point.
It throws the dynamic in the house off. If anyone in the house is off, the whole household goes off. And that's, for me, you, kids, when one of our kids is completely off kilter and not in sync and in harmony and jiving with the family dynamic is way off.
Yeah.
Until we get that corrected.
And you're trying to find out homeostasis. Yeah. Something balanced.
And we all, I try to be goofy and whatnot to bring them back, and you're trying to figure out what the hell's going on, and you're going to have a psychological analysis with them. Let's work this through. And I'm like, yeah. You're like, shut up, you idiot. It's not what we need right now.
You know full well that sometimes you're like, yeah, this is probably not well timed what I'm doing right now.
So, but yeah, so I think that's kind of the different angles we took at it. Was more, my subconscious going, okay, there's going to be an issue if this goes awry, so let's get ready for it. And that's where my anxiety came from. It wasn't so much dealing with the individuals, because I can be as passive aggressive as anyone. I grew up in that. So the people that have conflict in my life, I can be like, hey, how you doing? Good morning to you. How you doing? Just irritate the hell out of them, because they try to avoid me as much as possible. But then I'll make eye contact, try to get eye contact, stare deep into the hi. But that's
it's cringe, and I don't do well with that either. Like you're much more. I think for me, a lot of it is it's rejection.
Yes.
That I don't want to experience it again, and there's an aversion to that, which is part of ADHD too.
And I think a lot of it goes to your upbringing too, where you had to be part of it. So you had to have the comfort of being in the group. Okay. And I had the experience of, I can be part of the group by being outside of the group think. I could be a little awkward,
you were
different. That would include
part of the group no matter what. Yeah.
That's what got me part of the group, was seeing things differently or acting out of pocket. Like, keep that guy around. We'll keep him in the group because he gives us a different perspective. He looks at things differently. You never had that experience. You had to conform to be part of the group.
And if I did, but what I had was, if I did do that, which I did do several times, it was rejection. And so I learned that to be authentic or to be different from the group at all is rejection. So I've got a nervous system program for that. And it's okay to be different from the group. Like, you're part of the group regardless. You add an element to the group that we need. We need somebody to push back and not just conform. Well, so I think being that, and then going into when you deconstruct, you obviously are going against the norm of what you grew up in, or whatever community you were in. And it creates this dynamic in your relationships that changes everything. And a lot of us lose a lot of and we were close with some of these people. Some of these people knew like our weaknesses and just things that we would talk about in private. And then now to be rejected. Huh?
They took advantage of that.
Well, did they, or were they just doing what? I mean, some would use that against you then, right? Yeah. But I think more than anything, it's just like you feel exposed. And so going into something where you are being loving and you genuinely care about these people and you weren't meaning any harm by deconstructing, it just kind of happened to you. You weren't going out seeking to deconstruct. And then it created all sorts of different issues in relation. The more authentic you get, I think the more you're going to have these things flare up. And I guess my main point is, don't make your life smaller. Like, for a while, get in protection mode. I get that. Yeah. But if you start to feel like I've made my life so small, you're going to naturally feel the need to expand. And I think that's where I feel I am, as I'm ready to like expand back out again, because I've strengthened some things and I'm ready to like grow and test that growth, I guess. Yeah. Test that healing. Yeah. And it feels a little scary, but it's also something that if I don't do it, then anxiety, that's where I think generalized anxiety could, you know, because I've noticed it creates a little bit of social anxiety, and I don't like that. Because why do I need to have, I don't know. So I'm just ready to make my life bigger, not smaller. I'm ready to go out and be around even people who disagree with me, even though I am around them and I have no problem. But there's certain situations that we have had that I know we're being super vague, and we've done this, referred to this. It's a big situation in our life, but everybody has these conflicts. I think in deconstruction, it kind of blows up in your world. It's like putting dynamite in your relationships, and those who love you and know you and love you unconditionally work through things, because you're going to have problems, and they work through them. They're not running away. But you have those that do cause a relationship to have a huge rift in it. And then I'm just saying, you don't have to run. You don't have to run. You can stand firm in who you are, not make your life smaller. Don't give them any more power, because it doesn't help you, but it also doesn't help them. No. It doesn't help them grow or learn. They just stay ruminating on stories that they've make up about you. Yeah. Yeah. If that makes sense. Yeah. I hope that helps somebody something in some way.
So, it's all right to be big again and make your part in it. And just, I think it could be very effective too. I mean, it shows your character. Like, we can have issues. And we're kind of living what we've been preaching, We don't have to agree, but we can live in harmony. And we don't have to go out and do awful things or anything, or dissuade people's characters or anything like that. We can just be ourselves, be authentic, let that show, and then the cards can fall where they may. People can make their own judgments on it. If people don't like me on who I am, then fine. That's fine.
Fine, I don't care. And we can get to the point where we don't think about them. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't matter what they think about us, because we don't think about what they think about us. Yep. Right? 100. And just enjoying our own life. And if they have a problem, then I guess they're obsessed with us. That's their thing. But we don't have to be, So
I get it. I'm obsessed with you, so.
You are.
I am.
But I do like that about you. Stop. All right. That's all I had for today.
All right. Good topic. Get yourself big. But if you're listening on YouTube, please, up by the wreath here, like, subscribe, and follow. We'd appreciate that greatly. If you got a moment, leave us a comment too. We love hearing comments from you. If you are listening to us on one of the podcast streamers, give us 5 stars. That helps us out a great deal. We appreciate that greatly. And if you got a moment there, leave us a comment. All that stuff, YouTube and Spotify and all that just helps push us out. It gets more ears hearing us, and that's what we want. We just want to put a positive message out in the world. So help us do that. If you want anything else that we're doing, go down below. And we have links. danandcan.com is the main link that we have down below that gets everything. But Candy broke out a few other ones that have special things on there. So you can click on any of that stuff and see what we're doing on that. So, that's all we have for you tonight. So you guys are just Andes.
We were trying to think what to call our listeners, and we were like, we could call them Andes Mints, because Candy and Dandy. We were like Andes, and then he's like, I want them to be called Dandies because it's all about me. And he was obviously joking, but yeah. So you guys are Andes Mints. That's what we're going to call you. Our little Andes.
You can be Candies because it's in the candy jar. Your little nougatines and hard butterscotch candies.
Little nuggets.
Ribbon candies. That's Christmas time. Ribbon candies are coming out. You remember them?
Yes. I saw some at the store yesterday. And I was like, oh, my grandma had those. Yes. I kind of liked those candies.
It's just sugar.
They would all stick together, though.
Yeah. It's just sugar.
You had to it was. I thought they had a flavor. I remember liking them when I was a kid.
Some of them did have a flavor, but a lot of times the old-fashioned ones were just sugar and water.
Ew.
Or corn syrup.
That sounds awful, actually.
Yeah. Maybe a little butter, but all right. Well, Andes, tune in next time and enjoy the sweetness of Dandy's candies.
And once again, he brings it back to cringe. Sorry, guys.
All right. Talk to you later.
Love ya. Bye.
Bye.